Last year, I talked about the best Qantas frequent flyer card in 2022. This year, there isn't really a clear winner. So I want to talk about my 3 favorite Qantas frequent flyer cards this year so far, categorized into 3 different groups. 1, maximizing the points. 2, the $0 annual fee. And number 3, the best value. So let's get straight into the video. Alrighty, so number 1 is the ANZ frequent flyer black card for maximizing your points. Now, before I get into this, make sure you don't get the cards unless you can actually pay back the balance every month. That's just something I like to say. We're here to maximize the points, not to feed these banks or feed these credit cards money back. You don't want to pay 20% plus interest rate on your on the stuff you owe. So please just make sure you don't get a credit card unless you can actually pay what you spend, right? So yeah, anyway, let's go straight into it now. So why this card? So 110k points for 425. Might be going, these two look a lot better. However, I made a video on these two cards, why they're actually worse off compared to this one. The main summary is to get the 120 points, you need to hold the card for 2 years. And that means you're paying double. You're paying a discounted first year annual fee, but then paying the full annual fee after the second year, so not really worth it. But let's get into this card. So I have this card, it's really good. They had a better offer last year, so which is why it doesn't outright win, so which is why I made 3 different categories. But just to kind of give a kind of understanding, 1 take-home points for $255 back to new card, so $170 annual fee for 1 take-home points, which is not too bad to be honest. And $5,000 on eligible purchases in the first 3 months. So that means, it's not that hard to achieve if you think about it. Just pay your bills, pay everything on it, and if you're going out with friends, get them to pay back. You pay the bill. $500 dinner, perfect. Pay it, get your friends to pay back. Pretty much everything nets to 0, everything balances out, but you get to hit your balance and get the bonus points and the annual saving of the annual fee. The other really cool thing to know about this card is the 2 complimentary Qantas Club Lounge invitations. So you can actually give these out to your friends as well, if you don't need to actually spend them yourself, if you don't need to use them. And obviously the complimentary travel insurance, really good to have, honestly. In my opinion, one of the best things to have, just because it is so useful. I used it during when I was in Bali, just cancelled our flight. They put us into a really crappy 2-star hotel, or motel what it was. And I was like, you know what, let's book a hotel and let's see if this works. And it does. We booked a really nice hotel, below the minimum that obviously you have to read the policies and stuff like that. And we claimed it and it worked. So yeah, complimentary travel insurance does work. Alright, so the number 2 category winner is the CommBank Ultimate Awards card for $0 monthly annual fee. Now, this card is okay. It's not that great, honestly, but compared to any of the other $0 annual fee cards, it is, I'm just scrolling down this right now, right? You've just seen that there's not many $0 annual fee cards. So it's kind of winning in a very weak kind of category. However, it is not bad of a card. You do have to pay a $30 opting fee, so I don't count that, so that's a bit of a quotation mark there. But the other quotation mark is you have to spend at least $2,500 on your Ultimate Awards credit card in your statement period. So 2.5k every month, it's not that hard if you think about it. You do have to spend, if you put it on bills, put on petrol, put on everything, put it on, your friends. When you're going out with friends, pay the bill and get them paid back. One of my favorite ways of getting the bonus points. However, just something to keep in mind is this thing. I'll go over this point thing in a second, but 70k bonus points, not too bad, honestly. Spend 5k within 90 days. So if you're hitting this thing, then you're hitting this thing, because 5k 90 days is 3 months, so technically you're going to hit it anyway. Now the really good thing about this card is this is a really strong international card, not a domestic card. This is a really strong international card. The reason why is because it says here 1.2 points per $1 spent, but reading the points tier is you get 1.2 for every $1 international transactions, not domestic. So this card's really good at internationally. Domestically, you only get 0.8 for Australian supermarkets, department stores, etc., and only 0.4 on anything else, which is a very, very low average compared to some of the other cards. So honestly, just keep that in mind. It's not actually 1.2 points, it's actually a lot lower. However, this is a really good card for overseas. No international transaction fees. Now, I think CommBank's card is pretty decent when, I use my debit card for international transactions when I'm, withdrawing money and stuff like that. It's actually a really good card. Well, CommBank in general is really good for international travel. Not many people know actually, but CommBank is actually really good. So I guess they kind of threw it into their credit card as well, which makes sense. So honestly, this card is really good for international travel. No lounge invitations, however, but there is complimentary travel insurance. But this is a decent card. It's not the best card, but it's the best in its category. But yeah, that's kind of a summary of that. Number 3 for best value card is the Qantas AMEX Ultimate card. It has 60k bonus points if you hit 3k in the first 3 months, which is it's really easy, to be honest. 3k for 3 months, 1k per month. If you're not spending 1k per month, maybe you shouldn't get credit cards. But either way, $450 annual fee, which might be going, okay, why is this best value? That's because of the $450 Qantas travel credit card, a travel credit that gets kind of offsetted with the $450, so it pretty much comes out at $0. The Qantas travel credit can be used for Qantas flights, can be used for Qantas hotels and a few other things. You have to book for their portal. The really cool thing about this is, the fact that it kind of is a $0 annual fee card, and I'm kind of thinking about it. But either way, it has complimentary travel insurance. It does have 2 lounge passes as well. There's something to note is when you use the travel credit, make sure you use the entire travel credit. It's a one-time booking only. So if your domestic flight is $200 and you spend it with the $450, you pretty much lose the rest of the travel credit, which is $250 in this case. But the other really big thing about this card is the points. The earn rate is really, really decent. 1 additional Qantas point per $1 on selected Qantas spend, so you actually get 1 extra point if you spend on a Qantas, so if you book flights and stuff. So this is a really good card if you want to book flights. But in general, it's a 1.25 points. So generally what I do is I like to spend my AMEX, I'll try to spend with my AMEX card first. If I can't, then I'll use my Visa or debit. But this is a really strong card for earning, and it's uncapped, which is great. But the other thing just to keep in mind is the currency conversion fee is 3%. Do not use this card overseas. There are better cards to use. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So those are the 3 cards, in my opinion, that are the best in their respective categories this year. Not a very strong showing. Hopefully, I can make another video later in the year with better cards to show. But this time round, these are the 3 cards to look out for. Hopefully, this video gives you some kind of good summary of, my recommendations and my thoughts around these 3 cards. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, I'll make another video on this once some new good cards come out.